And welcome back, everybody. We are here with Risen. It is the All-Star Night. We're about to see Dominate Fire versus Dominate Ice in blind pick. I'm Hypertension once again, the man with the silver mic. I'm joined here by Voodoo. You still doing okay, Voodoo?
I am. I'm hoping for no disconnects this time. I'd like to just be able to cast the game all the way through this time. None of the mishaps of before.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate if it did happen.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to see some actual non-ARAM, non-Rampage game here. See some
Ooh.
solid Summoner's Rift.
Ooh, shots fired there. Well, speaking of what we're looking forward to, Ezreal and Zed, I swear if I see another blind pick game without an Ezreal in it, I'm gonna scream because of the fact that Ezreal is the most broken AD carry on this patch. Someone is the most broken support. I'll say there are so many characters that were so strong that were not picked last game, and it was just getting on my nerves as both a former coach and a color caster. It is, I want to see these picks in play, and I want to see these players of higher elo than me use them. So as we start, as we start getting champ select, I say, yeah, these are what I want to see.
Yeah, I'm also hoping to get a chance to see that Tom Kench either support, but even more so than support, I'd love to see him or Yorick show up in the top lane. They're both two dominating tanks up there right now, and I think they're both they've been out of the meta for so long that it'd be exciting to see them again.
Yeah, and as we get into the pick, into the pick phase, we see a Zach locks in immediately for XT. So he's just going like, okay, I'm going with Zach. Let's go. Let's see it.
Right. And we're even seeing a Kayle and a Bard hover. I mean, those are both two very unique champions. The Bard ultimate can be very troll, so you always have to watch out for those. But these high elo players, I'm sure, can execute it to a level of proficiency.
Yeah, I would say they really can. I would say, and we see champions like Yasuo and Fiddlesticks hovered, of course, as troll picks. We know that's not what they're really going to pick. We see a Fiora hovered. That potentially could be picked. I know Fiora is very good with press the attack right now. She's not the best champion in the game. She's not a Yorick or a Tom Kench in the top lane who just can straight up 1v5 a team on their own if they get just a few kills ahead. I know Yorick especially is now the most dangerous split pushing threat in the game. I've seen a Yorick 1v4 just off of being 3-0.
Right. And it's interesting we're seeing from the right team here. I'm not sure which side that is.
Ice.
Ice. We see that, for Team Ice there was hovering the Rammus. And I was about to say, I don't know if that's where that Rammus was planning on going. It looks like that is the support player that is going to be doing that. And it looks like he's going back to Rammus. So I'm really not sure what we're going to see here. We have a Lucian and a Varus locked in, so I guess that's a Lucian top against a Bard top. Shout out to Dyrus and
Huni.
Right, yeah. And if we saw a very unique thing there on Ezreal, it almost looked as if he locked in with Cleanse Heal, but he has now elected to take Flash as he rightfully should.
Yeah, what we are finally seeing that Ezreal, but we're not seeing him in the right lane. Ezreal AD carry is the broken one. With that Kleptomancy rune, you just get so much gold, so many early items. It just allows the early game power of Ezreal to translate so well into the mid game, and he's so good at ending the games extremely early. However, in the bottom lane, we have a Syndra AD carry. Why do we have a Syndra AD carry? I don't know. Maybe that's just one of those things where they didn't get an LCS order like we told them to. I don't know, honestly, but there's a Varus mid lane. A Rammus in the jungle. Rammus is supposedly pretty good right now with the fact that he has that. I want to say it's Aftershock is the rune that you take on Varus. I could be wrong. I believe that Zach also takes the rune.
I think you mean on Rammus, Hyper.
Yeah, I did say Rammus, correct?
You said Varus, but we knew what you meant, so it's okay. I think it's more a situation where they did not get an LCS order. I doubt we're seeing a Varus mid. Artillery Varus has been dead for a long time now, and it is more than likely to be Varus ADC with Syndra mid.
Yeah, I would hope so, because I love Syndra. I love her as a champion. She's one of the few champions that can sort of bully out Ezreal a little bit because of the fact that she does have that massive pressure. As soon as she hits 6, Ezreal will not win those 1v1s. At least so the history books have shown. It is still preseason, so this is still lit. So we don't know what's going on. Bard top, we have a freaking like I said, Lucian top. We've got all the things right now. I'm still annoyed that we aren't seeing a Yorick or a Tom Kench, given how strong those champions are. I'm happy that we aren't seeing something that's underpowered at the moment. like a Caitlyn at AD carry. We are seeing something stronger in the Vayne. Varus is in a little bit of a rough spot from what I understand, but he's still much better than some of his contemporaries, like the aforementioned Caitlyn or Kalista. Malzahar, a good pick at support, though. I love that pick.
Well, it's interesting you say that. It's been a long time since we've seen Malzahar. It Worlds, notably, obviously on a different patch at Worlds, but Malzahar was predominantly picked in mid lane. He was a main pick for Samsung Galaxy, and I personally have not seen any Malzahar its support in a very long time. So I'll be eager to see how this plays out and what keystone this Malzahar has decided to run.
You and I have obviously never played a ranked game together, because if I get support, that's the only champion I pick, because I'm a Malzahar secondary in the mid lane. So what we are going to see here is, if I'm looking at compositions, I've got to give it over to the side of Fire. I love the Ezreal pick. I love the Vayne pick in this situation. I think that her mobility now with press the attack is just so insane. It allows her to do so much damage to the enemy carries. Plus the fact that you do have a little bit of peel in the Bard. If he does go attack, say, on hit Bard, I will be a little bit disappointed. You have the engage with Zac. You have so much going for Fire. And while Ice does not have a composition to sneeze at, I just think Fire's is a little bit better.
Yeah, I have to disagree with you there, Hyper. I mean, Team Ice just has so much CC and so much lockdown. Every member on their team, save for the Lucian top, offers a form of CC. Varus has a huge lockdown, his ultimate. Malzahar has a point-and-click suppress. You combo Malzahar and Syndra ultimate, that's anybody gone, no matter what. I mean, there's no counterplay to that, and I'm going to find it hard to see Team Fire execute these team fights.
Well, you say that, except for the fact that every single member of Team Fire, except for a King's Land, has level 6 mastery or higher on their champion. These are level 7 Zac, Ezreal, and Vayne players, so they have much more experience on their champions than does the members of Team Ice. And as we load into the game, we'll start introducing the teams. On the blue side of the map, we have Dominate Fire, with a King's Land on the top lane Bard. Can't believe I just said that. XT on the jungle Zac. We have Tango Autismo. That name. On the Ezreal mid lane, we have Hobbs on the AD carry Vayne, and we have It's the Afternoon tonight on the Lulu support.
And on the red side, we have in the top lane, it's PKEDR playing the Lucian top. And in the jungle, we have Shady Gecko 13 on the Rammus. And unsure if it's mid or ADC, we have Rejecticity on the Varus. And then we have Randajo on the Syndra, as well as Isthmus rounding out the composition with the Malzahar support.
Yeah, and with the itemization that was gone by the players by Dominate Ice, it is making me believe that it is a Syndra AD carry, or AP carry, I guess you could say.
Right, and it's unique that you say that, because the Syndra and the Malzahar both are running Spell Thieves. So right, it looks as if they're looking to share the gold. However, I have actually seen mid laners run Spell Thieves. So that is not out of the question, although Varus is, of course, sitting at mid tower. So that will be the Syndra APC, as you said.
Yeah, it's a pick that doesn't really provide nearly as much utility as other picks. I don't like it in this situation, especially with the fact that the DPS just isn't there in comparison to a Vayne, who especially with, I cannot remember whether or not she took Press the Attack or, what is the other
Lethal
one?
Tempo.
Lethal Tempo, thank you. I could not remember there for a second what I was talking about. With Press the Attack or Lethal Tempo, you'll just be able to do so much. And the Bard TPs to
right, yeah, what a questionable. I think there must have been AFK or something, but either way, bot lane manages to get the initial push going out due to the fact that bot lane had to leash. So that's an early advantage to bottom as well as top.
And we have a fight mid lane.
Heal was burned early on the side of Ezreal, but it looks like, as well as for the Varus, so it looks like the two ADCs going back and forth with it mid lane. What build do you expect to see from this Varus?
From this Varus? I'm not really sure. He looks to be starting the AD that you would usually see on an AD carry Varus, so maybe you could be going for that. You could see a lethality Varus again. I would not be surprised this game with given how the things are. Also in that fight, one thing I'd like to mention is Flash and Heal was burned for both AD carries.
That is correct. That is correct. And It's unique that you say that with the lethality. That's what I was thinking as well when I see mid lane Varus. I don't really think of the on hit of the Rage Blade and the Wit's End that we were seeing so much at Worlds. Rather, I think of back to a Youmuu's, maybe an Essence Reaver Varus. Do you think that that can work with these new runes? Oh, but there's actually a fight, and Varus did take a bad trade in the mid lane.
I think that very much. Oh, and we have another fight in the top
right,
lane.
And Zac is ganking, but Lucian manages to dash away, and he's kiting back. Zac flashes forward. He's going for the first blood. The red buff slows on apply. Zac has a passive, so he can keep going. Bard. Oh, and Zac actually picks up the first blood with the tick of red buff. So props over, and that's actually, holy moly, with a double kill bot lane by the Vayne and Lou. I don't know what to say. This double APC of sorts is not working out for Team Ice.
Yeah, again, the DPS, the sheer DPS you can put out from that. Oh, and that was a bad place to DP. But the DPS you can put out as the Vayne Lulu is just so great.
And that's just a repeat gank by Zac. Oh my goodness, burning the Lucian flash as well as teleport. I don't think this Lucian's having a very fun time.
No, I would say definitely he's getting camped. I would say, oh, Shady Gecko.
Right, he may be caught, but it appears as if Ezreal doesn't know, and so looks like he's going to get a free steal here if he decides not to stop Ezreal's back.
That could not have been more perfect. Just, maybe I shouldn't go this way. I'll go the other way, and let's see what happens.
Right.
Avoiding the Klepto Ezreal. Also, one thing that I am seeing is Ezreal did take tier. If I'm not mistaken, that is what you take now with the Klepto, just so that way you can have as many Klepto procs as humanly possible. And I say to just be that perfect Embezriel build, and then Embezriel that has erupted from the preseason, which has a 57% win ratio last time I checked.
Right, and it's worth. And Zac is ganking the mid lane as well too. And it's notable to say that the Rejecticity and Varus has no summoners, but he's actually fighting back well. He's got the double Doran, so he is strong.
Yeah, that press the attack is just allowing him to do so much damage if he lands more than those first 3 auto attacks onto any member of fire. He's ahead in CS barely, but in this game, what's really going to make matter is his
oh my goodness, this Zac is just absolutely chain ganking. I mean, almost troll and cheesy, and Varus is going to fall to that as well as Bard roaming down to help secure the kill. And oh my goodness, Hobbs picks up a solo, or rather a duo kill against it, and it looks like he's going for 2, but Isthmus manages to get out. I mean, what's going on bot lane, Hyper?
Exactly what I said. The DPS just isn't there for the Syndra Malzahar. There's so little consistent DPS because of how the cooldowns are for these 2 champions in the early game. Malzahar is one of my main champions, and I know for a fact that his early cooldowns are not bad, and XT is going to get executed too.
Yeah, and that's so. I understand. It's a risky call. You're already committed. He had it so low, but at this elo, that's just a mistake we don't expect to see happening.
Yeah, as I say, XT you get executed, but back to that bot lane. The Syndra especially, there's so much requirement from the Syndra to be able to do anything, like with her CC. It's so telegraphed in comparison to that of a Lulu Vayne in terms of positioning, that if you misposition just a little bit, that Vayne has you dead to rights.
Right, and we see the Ram is hovering. It looks like him and Isthmus on Malzahar are looking for a blast cone. Although it's notable to say that Team Fire are warded up in the river, but they take the blast cone over and they're actually going in. The Syndra lands a stun and the silence comes in. I don't think the Lulu is going to be able to get away. Yeah, that's a clean kill on the Lulu. Just an overall clean gank. Very well executed.
Yeah, very, very good from the side of Dominate Ice. Just able to communicate well, abuse the fact that there were no wards over that thing.
There's trades going in the mid lane, and that Varus was about to hit 6.
Ooh. If those Chains of Corruption had been there, that definitely would have been a kill. But
Zac is there, back on Rejecticity. Now, he has heal up. Flash is coming up in just seconds. Oh, and it's burned already. Okay, so Rammus is here as well for a counter gank, and that's a oh, the snipe from Reject. Hey, the Chains of Corruption. Zac has no passive. He's hiding. He's orb walking back. I think there's no escape. Yeah, that's just a double kill for Rejecticity on his Varus.
Oh, a very, very nice snipe. As a poke mage player myself, that was a thing of beauty from Rejecticity. That was astonishing. Right. And what that was just a great placement by Shady Gecko to be where he needed to be. He caught out Tango Autismo and then just allowed Rejecticity to get the follow-up kills and just get the gold. one of the ways you're going to win this game is putting the Ezreal behind. His main power spike is in the early to mid game, when he's getting that Triforce, when he's getting that Mana Moon, and when he's getting that lethality from the Duskblade. So from there, if you can prevent that, you are going to do so much better in this game.
Right, and we saw Shady Gecko, he's countering, he took away the red buff, and Zach now leap strikes in there, and already Rammus is on his Raptors, so he's going to find an empty bot side jungle and instead just heads to Krugs to clean up what he can.
Yeah, and this is further emphasized by the sheer farm CS difference. In the jungle, we're seeing the Rammus with 50 CS. This is more than his mid laner. He's just been power farming and then ganking when he needs to, but otherwise, just massive amounts of farming. He's taking everyone's CS.
Oh, yes, and he has 3 levels up on XT. We can't overlook that.
Oh.
He is 3 levels up, 8 minutes in the game.
That is just an insane amount, and gold-wise, he's also up almost 1,000 gold as he gives over that blue buff. A very good thing to give that blue buff over to the Varus because of how much now he's going to be able to spam those abilities, poke the Ezreal, and just further establish a lead that he's already grown. The Ezreal is a little bit playing back because he knows the Varus has the damage on him right now.
Right, and I think it's also worth noting, as a fight breaks out top, Bard lands a stun, he's getting some good poke on that Lucian, but it's not going to be enough to defend. But it's also worth noting, though, that the Varus is not going Youmuu's like me and you suspected. He appears to be going for the on-hit Rage Blade. What do you think that? But actually, excuse me, there's an ultimate by Malzahar flash forward, but the Wild Growth seems to save him, and Rammus comes in, Vayne flashes away, he uses the Condemn on Rammus, and it appears as if no kills will happen, 4 Summoners burn for the side of Team Fire. What do you have to say about that? Actually, a change of corruption by Varus. There's the ultimate by Ezreal, and Varus is going forward, but he's in tower range. He flashes one for the kill, and they manage to get both, 2 for 1 in the mid lane, but Varus has to burn flash aggressively. Oh my goodness.
There's just a lot going on around the map here, and this is what's going to happen when you have this blind pick. But essentially, the one thing that's going right that could end up carrying this game is the bottom lane of Fire is still unkilled. They're up 2 kills, actually 3 kills total on the bottom lane of Ice.
And we see XT going aggressive there in the mid lane due to the fact that Bard roamed down this portal, but Rammus is actually hovering the Lucian, so he's fairly safe, unless he's not going to help him and Bard's just going to solo this Lucian. He might need to...
I would say things could be going better right now for Fire, given how much earlier their competition is supposed to scale, because when you get that late game, that Varus is going to be able to do a lot of damage. That Syndra is going to be able to do a lot of damage. That Malzahar is going to be able to just instantly lock someone down. And XT, okay, he's fine. I can keep talking. We're seeing a 20 CS lead in the mid lane and a 15 CS lead in the top lane for Ice. But there's one thing we haven't mentioned yet in this conversation. The bot lane. Hobbs has a freaking 44 CS lead over the Syndra. It also doesn't help that Ismith has 46 farm himself.
Right, which that's the thing. They're doing the dual threat, you know. You can't really look at that because they're both equal threats in that Malzahar and that Syndra. Notably, the Syndra is rushing the Morellonomicon, whereas the Malzahar did go for the Eye of the Watchers to have the Sight Stone available to the team.
Yeah, I would actually argue that at this point in the game, Shady Gecko is more of a threat than either of them. Like, even with the Unleashed Power, even with the Nether Grasp, there's just nothing that they can really do in comparison to the bot lane of Fire here. I mean, say this Vayne is fed. Oh, Kingsland.
Right, yeah, and that's a gank top lane. And Bard has no flash. He's just done. I mean, that's easy right there. The Lucian ult probably wasn't even needed. The culling was extra there, but they wanted to clear it as fast as they can for the Rift Herald, and it appears as if we'll be getting a tower top.
Yeah, we could see a dive bot.
Right, yeah, XT goes in, and the Lulu actually burnt ult just to get the slow, but the Malzahar ult's already expended, and Malzahar's polymorph, and he just goes down. Vayne's looking for more, but Hobbs has to kite back due to the Syndra ultimate. Lulu's going for it. It looks like they're actually going to tower dive this. The Let's Bounce is used, but nothing is gained from it. Zac has passive, so he won't go down, but meanwhile, top, it appears as if they're pushing for a tier 2 turret. What do you think about that, Hyper?
I think it's a bad prioritization from the side of Fire. They're just letting their tier 2 tower go down and having no response. Tango Autismo didn't move up in time. There was no communication there, and it's just another tower taken down. And overall, actually, a positive trade for Ice because they have 2 towers as opposed to 2 kills on a tower. I would very much prefer that first brick.
Right, yeah. First and second brick, mind you. I mean, which they did return the 1 tower, but 2 towers for the price of 1. Just really not a good trade.
Tango, you are not in the best spot, my friend.
Oh, it appears as if I'm behind you then in stream.
I'll say, no, I'm saying just because the Rammus is waiting in the wings.
Oh, okay. But there's actually a fight going forward, and XT jumps in. Rejecticity looks like he's going down. He's going to try to kill the Lulu, but he cannot finish him off. And his flash was still on cooldown for about another 30 seconds. So Varus was just caught out, trying to be too aggressive, although he notably does pick up a key item on his base.
Yeah, and also it looks like we've been calling the teams the wrong name the entire time. Fire is on the red side for this game. Ice is on the blue. So Fire is actually in the lead, and Ice is behind. Well,
regardless of the name, I think I've predicted the red team to win. You've got the blue team. Right now, red team which is Team Fire, I believe you said.
Yes.
Correct? Team Fire, they've got the two turret to 1 advantage, but they are down 3 in kills.
Yeah, they are down 3, but they said they have the pressure. They have that fed thing. But the problem for Team Fire right now is that there is that fed Vayne. That Vayne that can, once she hits late game, will be able to solo carry fights. Also, in this game, we're not seeing the usual assassins that we would see in our solo queue and normal games on this patch so far. We're not seeing the Zeds. We're not seeing the Talons. This is a Varus. This is a Syndra and a Malzahar. There's no real, true assassination potential.
Right, and I think it's also notable to say that the blue buff was given over to Malzahar. Mind you, that's the support here. But there's actually a fight breaking out mid lane. Syndra manages to land the stun onto Vayne, which keeps him alive, but Rejecticity is soloing this Bard right now, and Bard even wastes his ultimate. What is that solo kill by Rejecticity?
Rejecticity's just too far ahead for anyone on the side of Ice to take on. It's really hard.
And right now it appears as if XT is caught out. Yeah, that suppression coming through from Malzahar, but Zac is so tanky, and he uses the Let's Bounce forward. What's he doing? But I guess Hobbs is able to pick up the kill on Syndra, and so it's worth it. The Condemn actually stuns Rammus. He's forced to flash the wall, and oh my goodness, Hobbs is flashing forward onto Isthmus. And he gets him before he can go. Oh my, and here comes the calling on the backside of the fight, Chains of Corruption to combo it. Zac goes down, but he still has the passive. He's looking for a TP, hopefully from a teammate. Shady Gecko looking to get the kill, and Zac goes down, and now they're chasing the Lulu. Vayne goes down as well. I mean, they're catching up in kills. Team Ice is catching double kill for the Rammus, and he's out of tower range. Shady Gecko is going to recall, right? Oh, excuse me, I'm sitting here on the wrong side. Shady Gecko is on his own side.
Yeah, with that, we see Fire just further stamp a lead. They just have a Rammus who is too tanky right now, a Varus who's doing too much damage with this Rage Blade, Lucian just chunking away with the Blade of the Ruin King. There's just so much going for them, except for the bot lane, who is who's not doing the best right now, but they were able to pick off that Vayne in that fight, which is allowing them to get this tower, get the team fight win, and then turn it into a Cloud Drake.
Right, and I think it's key that you said that. Even though their personal KDs are not doing well, 0-4, 0-3, they both offer tons of utility. Malzahar will always have his suppression ult. Syndra, she has her outplay potential with her ultimate. I mean, even when behind, these are 2 champions that will always be useful. And right now, it actually looks like Lucian's trying to solo the Vayne. He flashes forward. It looks like it's going to be traded, though. Oh, no! The heal from Syndra actually saves its PKE dart, and now it looks like they're pushing for that bot lane tier 1.
Yeah, and right now it's just hit that point where Fire has taken full control of the game, just like they did last time. We are seeing just better team play from from Fire than we are Ice, even with the worst composition in the double AP bot lane.
And actually, the Chains of Corruption right now going on to Bart. They're going to trade ultimates right now, and it looks as if Bart does not make the stun, but he gets a slow. Bart is forced to flash away as red buff kicks on him, but here comes Zac, and he bounces in, but no Let's Bounce is used. The red buff is not enough to take down Bard, but notably Lulu did have to heal to keep Bard alive.
Yeah, honestly, a good gank from XT, and it's the afternoon. It's the afternoon. We haven't really talked much about in this game, but it's just because, well, I mean, it's the nighttime. Why would we talk about the afternoon? I'm just kidding. It's just that the Vayne has been so far ahead, we really haven't been able to talk about the Lulu as much. Well, also, I'm an 80 carry secondary, so why would I talk about supports? I'm just kidding. So from here, what we should be looking for from Fire is to just pressure down this mid lane tower, abuse the fact that there's low wave clear from the side of Ice.
Right, and I think that's what they're looking to do. Ezreal even having to pop the ultimate there for wave clear, and right now they're going on to Shady Gecko, but that's the tanky member. That's not who you want to initiate on. You're not going to do any damage to him. He's already got a Thornmail. What's the point of even hit? Excuse me, not a Thornmail, a Bramble Vest. What's the point of even hitting him?
Yeah, I would say you're completely right. There's a reason that Rammus has the highest win rate of any jungler on this patch. And what you're seeing is it right here. He synergizes so well with Aftershock between his...
right now the stun lands on Devolution. He just caught out on his own jungle. I don't believe there was any vision on him. However, they must have had some insight as to how he was there.
There was the ward on the side of near the Raptors pit.
Oh, you are correct. And right now, Team Ice is looking siege mid, although they do not have the minion wave to back it up. Although King's Landing is trying to take on Rejecticity, but is not able to take him out.
Yeah, so yeah, it's just attempted sieges by both teams, but right now it's more of that anything that Ice tries to siege with, there is just the wave clear to counter it from the side of Fire. Rejecticity is so far ahead, Shady Gecko is so far ahead, PKDAR, I'm sorry, I'm just going to keep calling you that, is so far ahead, but they are looking to collapse here.
Right. And XT is actually going in on Rejecticity, who has only heal as a summoner, and he manages to get out without the Ezreal ult is earned, and Zac actually goes down by Rejecticity, and they force it as well. The Malzahar suppression is used, and it's traded for the Wild Growth, and Vayne is shut down. That's their main damage threat. What do they have left? Rammus is right now trying to solo the Ezreal, and that Bramble Vest, Thornmail is letting him do that. Ezreal is forced to heal to get away, and he's kiting back. He's hitting the Raptors for life still. He flashes. He's still going. Shady Gecko catches up, and he takes him out right there. Stun lands onto Bard, but Syndra's not able to follow up. Actually, a King's Landing almost solos KPDAR, and Rejecticity manages to take tier 2 mid.
Yeah, again, just better team fighting from the side of Fire. And a lot of it is this Rammus able to immediately eliminate one threat from a fight. He's just able to take out one of the two major carries from the side of Ice and just make it a 4v4 that Ice can't really win. I'll say as soon as that Vayne dies or that Ezreal dies, it becomes really easy to prioritize if you're Dominate Fire.
Absolutely. And something you mentioned before is that Team Ice lacks wave clear. And we see the Vayne has elected to go for a Phantom Dancer second over the Shiv, over the Runaan's Hurricane, because she feels as if she needs the potential to try to duel against KPDAR. And right now, actually, XT is going on to KPDAR, but KPDAR has the Bork to steal the movement speed away from him and get away.
I think that itemization from the Vayne is a very poor decision. I think you need to get something like the Infinity Edge and Static Shiv in this situation, just because of the fact that not only will that allow you to attack fast with press the attack and deal that damage, but those critical strikes will hurt even more with the press the attack procs. There's just so much able to be done. I don't think getting a Ginsu's Rage Blade and Phantom Dancer is really worth the amount of damage you sacrifice in the short term.
XT actually looking to go in, and the Malzahar burned right now onto Vayne. Lulu's Wild Growth is used, and it looks as if both teams are kiting back, neither one wanting to fully commit, but here comes Rammus, and flashing in actually on Shady Gecko. XT is forced to go away. Vayne right now is onto Shady Gecko, but
at least get the inhibitor off of it, which they will. and they're probably going to back off and look for the Baron here.
Absolutely. I mean, right now, that Rammus is still full enough HP that he can tank whatever he needs to. They're looking to share the Blast Cone, although seem to butcher it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say if that's the worst thing that they do this game, I think they're all right. Then again, it isn't. There was that bot.
Absolutely. And I don't think this will be contested, although actually it will be. The Bard ultimate comes in. Perhaps they're looking for a fight. The Syndra lands the stun. The Malzahar silence. KP Dara is using his board, and he's trying to solo King's Landing, but the Lulu shields are just too much. You can't kill him. Meanwhile, though, the Baron is slain, and they use Farsight Alteration to gain vision.
Yeah, and they're trying to run. They need to run for the hills right now, or else the team of Ice will kill them.
Right, but I think Lulu's overstepped. Yeah, Reject Tisty just picks up an easy kill. It'll be a trade, but overall not the worst. Oh, actually, Vayne is going to flash and go for it onto Joe here, but Syndra uses her ult, but it's nothing. Vayne manages to pick up a double kill in the aftermath as Isthmus now runs down looking to chase.
Yeah, I think chasing here is actually not a good idea if you're the side of Fire. Take the 3 Barons and save them. Make sure that they don't fall, because you need that Baron to be able to end this game. You need that push in the bot lane. I say in the bot lane, especially seeing as how big of that wave is, you could definitely, as soon as Pekdar's teleport comes back up, you could see a teleport down just to take an easy tower.
Absolutely, and right now it looks like they're just going to push a King's Landing is just caught out. That Malzahar ult, there's nothing you can do. He has no QSS. There's no outplay for him from that.
Yeah, and it seems at this point XD has given up. He has bought the legendary Almwrecker. He's bought the item that had a 100% win rate, win with finished in inventory rate at Worlds. Something tells me it won't have the same win rate here at All Stars.
Yeah, it's a troll item, let's be honest. The stats given are just inferior to that of a Randuin's, etc. And the active it's just not a good active. It's a bad item. You don't see it for a reason.
No, I think that honestly they need to rework the item purely because of the fact that I know that there is some kind of sentiment behind it. I'm not exactly sure what it is at the moment. I can't remember. I don't keep up with that. But I do know that that item, it needs some love, Riot. Like, you've given everything some love. You gave Zeke some love. You gave Mikhail some love. Where's the love for Almwrecker? Come on, Riot. I'm sorry if we're getting a little bit off topic. The game is a little bit of a low right now, so there's not really much to talk about. Fire is ahead by a bit. They're about 9,000 gold up. They're 5 towers up. I would say Rejecticity is 4 kills up on this Ezreal. Again, it's better as an AD carry. I don't know. I don't agree with taking it into the mid lane for the side of Ice. I also don't agree with the Bard top, but that's just me.
Right, absolutely. And right now, the Malzahar is used on XD, and he just goes down. And the Wild Growth is used as well as Redemption to try to save Hobbs, but it's not going to be enough. Syndra's stun manages to miss. Shady Gecko perhaps looking to turret dive, or perhaps just BM.
Yeah, and also, right now, say they take down that tier 2 tower, thinking, what else can they get with this Baron buff? They still have to be careful because that is still an Ezreal.
Yeah, absolutely, but I think they're trying to look to push and perhaps even get a Nexus tower out of this. They've got the Winions in the base. I mean, right now, PK Dara is looking to try to... Oh, he does not solo Hobbs. Hobbs solos him, and Ezreal uses a heal to keep him alive, although Rejecticity manages to take down Ezreal, but Rejecticity's on a rampage, and Isthmus, Rejecticity's actually going against Hobbs. He manages, they trade kills. XT now is back up already, though these death timers are not as long as we might expect, and the suppression comes through on Lulu. I don't think he's going anywhere. That the combo I mentioned, Malzahar plus Syndra, what can you do against those 2 ultimates? Yeah,
what can you do against this minion wave? This game, it's over, baby. It's done. An astonishing victory there for the side of Dominate Fire, going 2-0 on the night over Dominate Ice.
And that's really a wrap. I mean, once they got a lead, they ran away with the game. It was close to no contest.
Yeah, and honestly, from that game, we have to talk about the person that caused that game to go as far out of control as it did. You know who you have to talk about? Shady frickin' Gecko. Sir, you are my MVP. I tip my hat to you. 5-0-8, 160 farm, which was 3rd most in the game, more than the enemy mid or top laners. Shady, you did good on on the champion we haven't seen in a while. I am impressed, my friend. You are my MVP.
Absolutely, and notably, Rejecticity was absolutely amazing this game as well. Really, as well as PK Dara, it was just the bot lane that was really getting carried, if we might say that.
Then all right, that appears to be it for us for a bit, and we are now going to throw it over to XT, who has some information for you guys.
Hey everyone. So I hope everyone enjoyed the first day of the Risen All-Stars event, and even though I'm just here coming back from a beating, I'm so happy that everyone was able to come out here and is able to watch our fantastic players represent their own teams, Fire and Ice, and just play with the community. For everyone that's new to watching,
you built Allbreaker.
To everyone who's watching, who's new into Risen, I'd like to formally say welcome to the community. We're happy to have you, and really thanks for tuning in to Day 1 of the Risen All-Stars. Shoutouts to all of our casters for taking their time to be able to cast for our event. Voodoo, Hypertension, Snuggle, and Shadow, thank you all for coming out today and casting, and I really appreciate just you guys volunteering your time to help us out today.
Hey,
as for everyone else,
no problem.
love you, man. And as for everyone else,
Allbreaker.
Come on, I wanted to do stuff. But either way, aside from that, tomorrow we have a ton of things planned. Tomorrow we have the Marksman mode featuring Dominate, the draft pick mode between the Rampage teams. We have the Nemesis draft and the preseason Slugfest, which is all going to be coming up tomorrow. And if you do happen to miss that, don't worry. We will have the VODs uploaded onto the Risen Esports channel. Hashtag Firewind, hashtag Icewind. Be sure to show your support to the two amazing teams. And don't forget, Sunday, we also have our final game, which is going to be between Dominate Team Fire and Team Ice. A serious best-of-3 match featuring what is out to offer in the best in the preseason currently. So please stay tuned for that. As for everyone else, I'm XT. I'm joined by Hypertension, Snuggle, and Voodoo, and shoutouts to Shadow. He isn't with us right now, but shoutouts to him too. Thank you all for watching Day 1 of the Risen Esports All-Stars, and do you guys have any closing words?
You built Allbreaker.
Hey, come on, man.
Yeah, probably not your best decision, but you did it for the lulz.
I did it for the memes, man.
Ambition, you are not.
I said I was gonna build it, and I built it, and I never go back on my word. Okay.
All right, everybody. That's it for us here tonight, guys. I've been Hypertension, joined by Voodoo, XT, Snuggle, and like he said, shout out to Shadow. That's it for us here tonight, guys. From Risen, goodbye and good night.
Wait a minute.